This week's parasha is Parashat Vayishlach, is the famous meeting that Yaakov is getting ready to meet his dear brother Esav. After the event, the story that Yaakov got the blessings from his father Isaac, so we were told, the Torah tells us that Esav was actually very upset with that, to the degree that he was planning to kill Yaakov. So his mother, Rivka, tells him, okay, Yaakov, you got to run away to my family, which is in Haran, and go over there till your brother comes down. In the beginning, they were thinking that this might be for a while. Not necessarily that it has to be for too long. Maybe Esav will come down and Yaakov can make it back to the house of his father and mother. But it ended up that Yaakov was there for 20 years. Yaakov does go, listens to his mother, Rivka, and he meets over there her family. Lavan is the brother of Rivka, and he meets over there Lavan, and Lavan offers him and says to him, listen, you're my relative, come, stay by me. My house is open. But Lavan wasn't so generous, and Lavan says to him, okay, I'll also pay you. Long story short is that Yaakov worked 7 years to marry Rachel, and his beloved father-in-law, right, fooled him and gave him Leah. And look at that. It was clearly that Yaakov is working, serving for the deal. The deal was that he's giving him Rachel, but his father-in-law fools him and gives him Leah. Yaakov says to his father-in-law, what's going on? Didn't we speak about Rachel? So his father-in-law says, oh, well, we don't do that by us. We don't skip the older sister and you give the younger sister. Okay, very nice. Why you didn't say that beforehand? So you see that trick, the people that seem to be nice people and good people and have principles, but very nice on the back of the other. You want to give Leah first, well, you should mention that, no problem. It's a nice thing that you're saying, yeah, you shouldn't skip the older sister, but you did a deal with somebody, right? You promised him you give him Rachel. How could you fool him, be such a liar, and give him Leah? So that's the kind of hospitality that Yaakov is having over there. He agrees to work another 7 years to actually get Rachel. And over here, so just to understand, guys, he waited 7 years to get Rachel, and he got Leah. And when he approaches his father-in-law, like we said, so his father-in-law says, okay, fine. So work another 7 years and I'll give you Rachel. So he agreed to give it to him, now on the condition that he's going to work another 7 years. Okay, so meaning in the end of the day, he did marry Rachel also, but he had to work, fulfill his condition, another 7 years of work. So that's 14 years. And 6 years he was working and taking care of the cattle of his father-in-law, Lavan. Till it comes a point that Yaakov feels that enough is enough, time to go home. When is that? So if you look clearly in the verses, when Yosef is born, only when Yosef is born, it appears to Yaakov and he feels it's time to get home. That only when Yosef is born is coming to a point that he'll have the power it's time to go back to Israel, to the Holy Land, and he'll have the power to deal with Esav. So only after that, he's getting ready to come back to Israel, only after the birth of Yosef, which also represents, we mentioned many times, guys, that all what's happening to the patriarchs will happen in the future to the Jewish people. So there's a verse that says that the Yaakov and Yosef will be like flames, and Esav will be like straw. So meaning the one that has the power to fight the evil of Esav is Yosef. So that's why Yaakov sensed it, that when Yosef is born, it's time to come back, and he's preparing himself to come back. That's what happened last week. He actually ran away, and Lavan is pursuing him, running after him. Hey, why you didn't tell me you're leaving? Oh yeah, for sure, you'd let me go, right? But anyways, he always seems to be the nice guy. Hey, why? I'll do a big party, huge party, invite everybody in town with a band and food and drinks and all that. I'll make a huge party for you. Yes or no, but right. But Lavan is always representing himself, the nice guy, and Hashem warns him not to touch and not to do anything bad to his dear son-in-law Yaakov or his children. So that's last week's parsha, and this week's parsha, guys, Yaakov is actually a little bit worried meeting Esav. And it's very interesting why Yaakov is worried, guys. Why is he worried?
He took the birthright.
What?
Because he took the birthright.
He took the birthright? Yeah, from Esav.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 20 years after. Should he be Should he worry so much, guys?
We had a premonition that Esav was going to do something.
Okay, so you're saying, right, that he's still worried from the anger that Esav has on him for stealing the blessings. And also, is always the attitude, guys, that a tzaddik is living in a way that maybe I don't deserve it. Although Yaakov is a great tzaddik and did great, but he's always in the attitude, oh my gosh, who said that Hashem will save me from Esav? Who said that I deserve it? That's the idea. So that's why he's praying and begging to Hashem, Hatzileinina, save me from my brother Esav. And that's why he's getting ready. We'll see later on, guys, how Yaakov prepares himself for this meeting with his brother that is still angry and still willing to kill him after 20 years. So it's also important to know, guys, 20 years is quite a long time. And the anger is still there. And we'll see in detail that Yaakov was preparing himself in 3 ways. Well, what the 3 ways that Yaakov was preparing himself was davening to Hashem, praying to Hashem, asking, even though I don't have merit, please save me. A gift, you see that the gift that he was preparing to give Esav. And if that doesn't work, the gift is not working, then he goes out to war. But ideally, you see that Yaakov is trying not to fight and not to go to war. He's trying in a peaceful way, praying, giving a gift. If that doesn't work, okay, so you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Then we'll go out to war. Okay, so that's this week's parasha. So this is the meeting between Yaakov and Esav. I would like to go back a bit, guys, to see the differences of Yaakov and Esav. Who exactly is Yaakov and who is exactly Esav? I would like to go back, guys, to Parashat Toldos, when these 2 kids are being born. So I'm going back to page 126. So this is the beginning. This is the roots. This is where everything begins. We see these 2 babies that were born. Already in the womb of the mother, they were acting different. The mother sensed that it's not a regular pregnancy, and that's why she's going to ask to check what is going on here. What is going on here? And actually, she was told that she does have twins, 2 babies, and they are really different. From this will come out 2 nations, 2 kingdoms that not necessarily will go along with each other. And when one is high and going up, the other one is down. So the question is, who's overcoming who? But this is the roots of the 2 sources of the forces that will be different. So the first one is born with a lot of hair, looks like that he's complete. And the second one is coming out holding on the heel of his brother. Okay, so look at verse 27, Chav Zayin. Vayigdelu hanarim, they grew up. Vayi Esav was ish yodea tzayid, a man that knows to hunt. Ish sadeh, a man of the field. Yaakov is ish tam, a simple man, yoshev olim, sitting in a tent. So the Torah is telling you Esav is outside over there in the field hunting the whole time animals, and Yaakov is a simple man sitting in a tent and learning Torah. Who looks like the cool guy? Esav. Come on, right? Esav is there in the field, action the whole time, hunting, running around, busy like crazy in the field the whole time. And Yaakov is this simple man just sitting and learning Torah in a tent. So it seems like which one is the cool, the fun man is Esav. But here we go, guys, and here's the big difference and the lesson. That's what it sounds like. But what is the truth, guys? The Targum, you know that we have a translation, yeah, for the Torah. You have Onkelos, and you have Targum Yonatan ben Uziel also as well. They're both Tanaim in the times of the Mishnah that translate the Torah to Aramaic. You know what they translate? Ish Tzad, Ish Yodea Tzad. Now Yodea means, guys, it means he was the expert, who's the unbelievable man in town, expert in hunting, and a man of the field. You know what they translate? Ish Tzad, a man that knows how to hunt. They hunt in Aramaic, Nachashi Rechan. Nachashi Rechan means in Aramaic, guys, a man that does nothing. Batel. So that's how they translate a man that knows how to hunt. A man that is a batel, doing nothing. Trees, they have trees that produce fruit and trees that don't produce fruit. Nachashi Rechan is also used for the trees that don't produce fruit. Guys, and listen carefully, because it's all here in the difference. In this one verse, you have the two worlds and the big difference between Yaakov and Esav. You think that Yaakov is doing nothing, but you don't know what he's doing? He's sitting there in the tent and learning Torah and building the whole future of the Jewish people. That's what's happening. It's a man that is sitting and studying Torah for years in a tent without making waves, without making a tumult, sitting there and studying Torah. It says that he went also to the Yeshivat of Shem Va'ever for 14 years and studied over there straight. So for years and years, he's sitting and studying the Torah. You know what's happening? By Yaakov building himself, he's building the whole future of the Jewish people. That's what's happening. Internal. That's the right way to do. You want to be a mensch, you want to be a good person, you want to do what Hashem wants from you, you have to build yourself. Internal. When you build yourself internal, that's something that you could give over to your generations. That's something that you could give over to your children, to the grandchildren, and to the great-grandchildren. That's the truth. That's the emet, guys. Internal, quietly, without promoting yourself, without having yourself in all the headlines and all the news talking about you. That's the sheker outside over there in the world. That's Esav, guys. He's the one that is around and hunting and running and everybody's talking about him, right? But that's the difference, guys. Esav is all about external and living for now. What's happening now? I need money now. I need food now. Who cares what will be in the future? Is he building something? Nothing. Esav, and these are the two views of life, two perspectives on life, and the two extremes, guys. Yaakov, sitting there in the tent, building the future, building the continuity of the Jewish people. That will be the Jewish family. Eventually, the 12 tribes will be from Yaakov. And Esav over there is having a lot of fun, a lot of pleasure, hunting over there, the animals, a lot of meat to eat and to sell, whatever, but nothing for the future, guys. And that's the big difference. The Jewish people, the eternal of the Jewish people, we are here forever. And it started with that, with Yaakov sitting. The existence of Jewish people starts with the Yaakov and sitting and learning Torah, having the values, the principles that he could give over to the family. Here we are, guys, thousands of years after. Who remained? Who we have today? Do we have Yaakov or do we have Esav? Yaakov. Here we are, guys, the Jewish people. For thousands and thousands years after, we mention the name of Yaakov 3 times a day in the Shmoneh Esrei. The God of Abraham, the God of Yitzchak, the God of Yaakov.
We also speak about Esav, though.
Sorry?
We also speak about Esav.
We do speak, but what's left there from him? Do you have institutions for hunting in the name of Esav? I don't think so. They have school. He's meant, for sure he's mentioned, because that's what it was.
So
It's showing.
his name did live on.
I understand, but you're talking about people that build themselves and build the future. It's Yaakov, not Esav. Esav is nothing left from his pleasures. Esav is all about physical pleasures. Nothing that remained. We're not praying today, the God of Esav. There's no yeshivot, or people that are following the values of Esav. So Esav is no continuity. Esav is all about the here and now. The internal existence of the Jewish people is coming from Yaakov till today. There's no institutions or something that says, oh, here we go. We have to develop the values and the principles of Esav, how to act and how to behave. As far as I know, it does not exist. You understand? Yeah, the Torah is telling you how it started, for sure. The names appear, but he's not a role model that you want to follow. That's the difference. Who built the 12 tribes? It's coming from Yaakov, not from Esav. So guys, this is the fundamental, because this is the roots, like I said to you. When Yaakov is sitting there and studying Torah, he's really building the future. And Esav cares less about the future. It's all about the physical pleasure. I need what I need for now. He's not about building or having patience for something for the future. Okay? And that's why it fits very well, guys. The Targum is not accidental that the Targum translates a man that knows how to hunt, a man that is doing nothing. Because that's what a man is doing. All what he's doing is taking care for himself. I want to eat now. I want to have fun now. I want to do this now. So it's all about the physical pleasure now. So it's really not producing. The one that it is producing is Yaakov. From there will grow, just like the fruit that come from the tree. The tree is producing fruit. Also, Yaakov, eventually, all the fruit will come from Yaakov. I'll show you this idea also, guys. Continue over there in the verse. So over there, just go to verse 29. So Yaakov was cooking over there lentils, and Esav comes from the field very tired. And what does he say to Yaakov? Oh, I'm starving. Right? He has no patience even to sit like a mensch, with a plate, fork. What does he say? I'll open my mouth and feed me into my mouth. Do you know what happened that day, guys? You know what happened over there in Parashat Toldos? What happened that day? Yes. Guys, listen carefully. The background is very important. The information is very important. This, over here in Parashat Toldos, is talking that Avram Avinu died. Avram Avinu is the grandfather of Yaakov and Esav. Esav knows very well that his grandfather died. The custom is that you feed the mourners something that is round. Eggs, lentils. That's why Yaakov is cooking lentils. Who comes back exhausted from the field? Esav. What does he say? I'm starving. You got to feed me. Not only that, you got to pour it to my mouth. Does he call even the food in the name? Even that, no. He says, give me from this red stuff. He's not even looking what is the food. He just says, oh, it's red stuff, feed me. That's exactly the attitude of Esav, guys. What's the hello? This is for, that Yaakov is cooking food for Isaac to feed the mourners. Right? He for sure knew about this, guys, that his grandfather passed away. He grew up in the house of Isaac. After all, guys, Esav did grow up in the house of Isaac. So he knew what's going on, guys. He knew that this is a custom to feed the round things to the father, and he's just coming back, and all what he cares is about himself. Feed me right now. Right now, I need this red stuff into my mouth directly. So you see how extreme, guys, this idea is all about the pleasure that I need right now, no patience, and it's all external. He's even not calling it by the name, guys. He's not calling it lentils. Just give me this red stuff. I need it right now into my mouth. You hear the idea? Okay, same thing, guys. So what happens over there? Yaakov says, you know what? Sell me the birthright. And what does Esav say? What do I need it? Something for the future that has to be with the firstborn, that they'll have certain rights. He has no patience and nothing to do. That's what the Torah says. I don't need it. Something for the future. Is it physical or spiritual? He says, I have no patience. I need the lentils now. I want to eat now. Therefore, he's willing to sell his birthright and giving it over to Yaakov. So, this is the difference, guys. You see, and we say the exactly the opposite, guys. A man, to be a real man, a mensch, is building yourself internal, building yourself to have good values, principles, something that you give over has to start inside you, and then you could pass it over. We say every day in the Shema, guys, "Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha." We have to love Hashem with our full heart and our full desires that we have. And what does it say after? V'shinantam levanecha. Only then, guys, when a person actually, it's real by him, you could give it over to another generation. If it's not real by him, you can't pass it to another generation. There was a great rabbi over here in Ohr Somayach called Reb Simcha Wasserman. He was a Holocaust survivor. His father was a well-known rabbi in Europe, Rabbi Elchanan Wasserman. He was one of the great Rosh Yeshivas in Europe. He was also known to be one of the people very close to the Chafetz Chaim, the great Chafetz Chaim, his father. And he was a survivor. He survived the Holocaust, and he made it here to Israel. And Ohr Somayach was blessed. He was teaching here for a while. He said to the students once the following. By the way, he loved teaching here to the new students that arrive, and he saw the thirst and the interest that they have in learning Torah. He said that that's the best time of his day, teaching these guys Torah. So Simcha Wasserman said the following, guys. In America, they invented synthetic potato. Fake potato, it's not real. Some chemicals they put together, right? Powder. Now, it tastes delicious. You could make from it mashed potatoes, French fries, what else? Latkes, kugel. Here you go. Right? Everything. So what is the difference, guys? You can make from it whatever you want. What is the difference? So Simcha Wasserman said the following, guys. He said, you know what is the difference? If you plant it, you think something will grow? The answer is no. Of course, right? It's not the real thing. It's synthetic, it's made up. Okay? So you could eat it, that's right, but you can't plant it. There's no future. He said to the guys, if you care about the future of yourself and the Jewish people, is only one way, connecting to Torah. That's what will keep you Jewish, and that's what will keep you that you could pass it over to the next generation. There's no other way. There are a lot, especially outside over there in America, there are a lot of people that were sympathetic, that had some sympathy, some warmth. It's true. They themselves didn't go to yeshivot. They themselves didn't know much, but they remember from their parents certain things that the parents were doing, right? So they remember the kiddush and lighting the menorah and maybe celebrating some holidays. That's what they inherit, these people. What is the chance, guys, that these people could give it over to their generation? Not much. It has to be much more than that. It has to be that you're giving over something real. Values, principles of Torah, they will go over. It was a great rabbi in America that said, the communities that build yeshivot, they will have a continuity. But the community that had the sympathy and they build beautiful shuls and beautiful Jewish centers and all that, you know what happened to them, guys? Unfortunately, I don't know percentage-wise, but many of them, if not most of them, turn over to be churches. Because the community, Jewish community, died. Slowly, the young generation lost interest connecting to Torah and mitzvahs. Oh, it's something that my grandfather did. Oh, it's something that my grandmother did. And they didn't connect. And that's why the youth, the young generation, there was no continuity. And that's the idea, guys. That's what this rabbi was saying. In order to guarantee a future is only one way. When the parents themselves are observing mitzvahs, when the parents themselves are keeping Shabbat, when the parents themselves are doing it because it's the right thing to do, and they study Torah, and then they could give it over to the next generation. But if they themselves have the sympathy, have the warmth, that's not going to all go over. It has to be the real thing, and then it goes over. Okay, so that's the idea, guys. That's the idea of, you see the differences between Yaakov and Esav. Yaakov is the truth, guys. You know that each patriarch was something unique, that was his essence. Avram was the master of kindness. Chesed. Avram is the master of chesed. Yitzchak was strength. He was willing to offer himself as an offering in the altar. And Yaakov is the complete of everything. Yaakov is wrapping up, taking the chesed from Avram, taking the strength from Yitzchak, and it comes to the level of tiferet, complete emes. Yaakov is known to be the emes. This is only one truth, guys. Sitting in a tent, building himself and building the future. Yes?
He did lie though to Yitzchak.
Oh. So what's your name?
Gabriel.
So Gabriel is saying, I just told you that Yaakov is known to be the truth. How could he steal the blessings from Esav? What happened over there? So the answer for that is the following, guys. You have to know the background. Everything, guys, and definitely you see what's going on today in the world, guys. The anti-Semitism that is going on in the world today. 99% of the people that are protesting have no idea what they're talking about, guys. No idea what is the size of Israel. No idea where's the river and where's the sea. And no idea the history, what happened over here. Okay? When the United Nations offered the two-state solution, the one that refused and fought it and went out to war is the Arabs, not the Jews. There was no Palestinian government over here. There were Arabs living here, but there was no Palestinian government over here. So I don't want to go off topic, but I just want to use it to show you that's exactly what's happening today. People don't know the details. So first of all, if you want to be honest, is to know the details. Get the details first and then say the opinion. But just to follow, just like the sheep knowing nothing and going and fighting what? Who, what, why? So just that you should know, guys, it's very important to you always to know the truth. To answer your question, obviously something was going on there, guys, between Isaac and Rebekah. Isaac was thinking to give the blessing to Esav, hoping, the commentaries explain, that Esav is good enough that he's going to support Yaakov. Isaac, just get it right, guys, Isaac was not stupid, chas v'shalom. Isaac knew that Esav is different than Yaakov, that he's outside over there in the field. He knew that. So even though the Midrash says that Esav was pretending himself that he's a big tzaddik, but Isaac knew that Esav is Esav and Yaakov is Yaakov, but he didn't know how bad is it. That's right. He didn't know how bad is Esav, and he was hoping, let me give the blessing, the physical world to Esav, and he will take care of Yaakov. He'll support him. He'll send him supplies to the tent that he can continue and sit and learn Torah in the tent. And he'll support his family and he'll support his children. That's what Yitzchak had in mind. Rivka knew that it's a nice idea, but not practical. Esav will not share the gifts, the blessing that he will get from Isaac. He will not share it with the brother. And therefore, the idea is like this. Yaakov is the emes, is true. But sometimes in life, right, the emes is not known to the people. And you'll have to fight for it, and you'll have to promote it, and maybe you'll have to go around to get to it, not in the straight way. It's right, guys. And that's the lesson, what we're learning from here. Yaakov would love, guys, to continue and sit there in the tent. That's what he wants, to sit and learn, to build a family, to build a future. That's what he wants. But Hashem says to him, well, but you're living in a world that you have to face the evil also. That's the message, guys, that Rivka, that does know the truth, and she knows that Esav won't support Yaakov, guys. She's telling him the truth. You have to go and what you call steal. Now, 1 second. I want to tell you, the idea is also like this. Rabbi Dessler says the following. If just Yitzchak knew the truth, guys, he wouldn't give the blessings to Esav. He had a mistake the way that he was thinking, and he was willing to give the blessings to Esav, knowing that he's going to help Yaakov. But if he knew the truth, he wouldn't give it. So actually, it's not stealing. So basically, the idea is like this. The truth, as you see right now in our days, guys, it's not there. You have to seek for the truth. You have to be comfortable with the truth. You have to live it. You have to fight it. That's the story. That's the life that we live. Like I said to you, Yaakov would love to continue and sit there, but there are times that he has to go out of the tent and fight for the truth. Yes?
So just on your point, so let's say there are men, learning in a kollel, and they were to find out next year you're not going to be paid any money, so you won't support your family. So then, should they then go out and steal some money to support their family? Because then you could then say, well, Yaakov didn't have a choice.
No.
He could have done something else. You don't have to steal a blessing.
So that's what I'm saying. That's the point. It's not stealing. This is the truth. Sometimes the truth is not there, and you have to fight, and you have to come from another angle. The truth in the end of the day that Yitzchak was willing to give the blessing, and the one that deserves the blessing is Yaakov. But the idea is Yaakov won't get it on a platter of gold or silver. He'll have to go around and go in circle and maneuver.
How is he the one to decide that?
Not him. Rivka, his mother, told him that this is what the truth, and it seems to be. Yaakov himself actually refused, guys. Yaakov himself.
Why can Rivka just tell her husband?
Okay, so that's why I said in the beginning that obviously something was going on here. The approach is how to treat these children. All the commentators explain that it was different views of Yitzchak and Rivka, how to view the children, how to raise them, how to take care of it. And it seems to be...
Isn't it always taught that the woman in the house always raises the kids and understands the kids better than the husband, and they're the ones that, you know...
Well, it does say here in this case,
Rivka
Rivka's right. And also we saw earlier when Sarah says to kick away, send away Ishmael, she was right also. That's right. It does appear here. Correct?
Yes,
Is that so?
obviously understand that then.
So the other way around. You see that Yitzchak had his opinion, had his thought, and he wasn't ready to listen or to understand. Right? He had a different view. That's 100%. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. Okay, guys. I'll just like to end up with this. So these are okay. So I'll just wrap it up, guys. So Yaakov is about the continuity, the building the world, building the future, and Esav is all about external. Right? I need the pleasures right now and here. You see this idea, guys, on and on. Like we said, he comes back starving from the field. I need this, right, food right now. He calls it the red food. He doesn't even name it. I read it right now. I'll open my mouth and pour it directly to my mouth right now. You see the same thing on and on, guys. This in the end of Toldos, I'll show you. So Yaakov ran away because that Esav was about to kill him. And he heard that his father said that he does not like the girls of Canaanites, the Canaanite girls. So that's why Yaakov went to a different place to find a shidduch. So Esav hears that, and what does Esav do? Look at this, page 142. So look at verse 6. Vayar Esav saw, ki berach Yitzchak et Yaakov, that Yitzchak gave the blessing to Yaakov. V'shilach oto, he sent him, Padana Rama, to this place. Padana Rama is the other side of the river, where the family of his wife is from there, the family of Rivka. Lakachat lo misham isha, to take a wife from there. Bebarcho oto, he gave him a blessing, and he commanded him, vayitzav alav, lemor, lo tikach isha mibnot Knan. Yitzchak warned Yaakov and said to him, don't dare take a wife from here, the local girls over here from Canaan. Go to your mother's family and find a shidduch over there. Find a girl from there, from your mother's family, from Haran, Padan Aram. So Yaakov heard that. Vayishma Yaakov el aviv elimo. He listened to both. Vayelech Padan Arama. Listen to this, guys. Vayar Esav saw ki raot bnot Knan bnei Yitzchak aviv. Esav saw now that Yaakov is being sent not to take from the local girl, rather to look for a shidduch from the other side. Okay? So what does he do? Vayelech Esav goes El Ishmael, vayikach et machlat bat Ishmael, ben Avraham, okay? Achot Navyat al Esav. So what did he do, Esav? He saw, oh, look, my father just commanded Yaakov not to marry the local girls. So what does he do? Go marry the granddaughter of Ishmael, right, from his grandfather's family. So he's doing something good, guys. He's marrying a new wife from a good family. Did he get rid of the others? Oops. Isn't that crucial? You want to show that you're doing the right thing, right? So what we're saying, guys, in Tehillim, Sur Mira, stay away from the bad, V'asetov, and do the good. So what do you see? Yitzchak commanded not to marry from the local girls, right? So you had to get rid of the old wives that you have and marry a new wife. What does Esav do, guys? Just add, okay, we'll keep the old stuff, we'll keep the evil women over there, and I'll marry also a good woman. Is that enough? That's a fooler, guys. That's again, it's all external. It's not real. It's not internal. It's showing the outside, I'm good, I'm perfect. I'm marrying another wife from the family of Ishmael. But he's not getting rid of the old wives. That's sheker. That's the lie, guys. Emes means that you're building internal, like we said, and sheker, the lie, is showing the outside, I'm doing good, the presentation, the headlines. Everybody should talk how great I am. That's sheker. If you're not doing it inside yourself, that's the big lie. Guys, have a wonderful day.